with a new artist. Well, I might be saying new. I'm not going to even say new. With an artist, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to get into how long you've been doing this later on. We were in the building with an artist by the name of Driss. And I'm going to let him go on and introduce himself and tell the world about what's going on. Driss, how you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Doing good.
I'm feeling these glasses, bro.
You like them?
I'm feeling these glasses.
I like them, too. That's why I want
Now I feel like I need some glasses, bro.
Go get you some.
Lacking.
Go get you
lacking.
some.
Okay, tell the world about yourself and your glasses.
Well, these are... Nah, I mean, I got these as a present to myself a couple years back.
So,
Yeah.
So you got to do that every now and then.
Oh, yeah, presents to myself.
Presents to yourself. That's what's up. Come on, tell the world who you are, man, what you do, what you got going.
You know, my name is Driss. I grew up in Iowa.
Iowa?
Yeah, so I grew up in Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved to Texas when I was 20. So I've been, my adult life, I've been in Texas.
Okay.
So, and you said new artist. I mean, I'm kind of new, kind of not. I mean, I started music when I was probably 13.
Okay.
But I was in Iowa, small town, small city.
They got music in Iowa?
Yeah, they got music in Iowa.
Wow, I didn't know they had music in Iowa.
Yeah. But it's a lot of country music. There's a lot of good.
Yeah, that was the last thing. First, I didn't think they really had music, period.
Yeah.
And definitely not some music that I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
I said that about Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, and where I'm from in Iowa's Waterloo, Iowa. It's a city.
What?
Yeah, it's a city. It's like 65,000. It's one of the most populous cities in Iowa.
Waterloo, Iowa
yeah.
is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. This is a first.
Yeah.
First time ever meeting someone from Iowa.
Yeah.
Let alone Waterloo, Iowa.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, most people are from the capital, Des Moines, because it's the most populous city.
Okay, but being from Iowa, why did you choose hip hop versus country?
So country was obviously what I listened to growing up. I mean, hip hop was a taboo, really. At the end of the day, my parents listened to country, right? And I remember the first time I even heard hip hop, R&B, anything like that. I was probably 4 or 5. I knew I liked music very young because I found myself memorizing music at a very young age, and just vibing with it.
What was the first one? First cassette.
The first cassette that I remember was I think it was Tim McGraw. It was either Tim McGraw, Garth Brooks, or Aaron Tippin. I can't remember because I was so young, but it was one of those three.
One of those. Okay.
Yeah, it was one of those three. But the first hip hop, R&B, anything outside of country I ever heard was Crazy Sexy Cool, TLC. Yeah, and I remember, and it was in the back, and I'm young, I'm probably 4 or 5, something like that, and I'm like, what? And I looked at it, I'm like, ooh.
Right, I remember the artwork.
Yeah, I popped it in, and I started listening to it. I'm like, oh, this is different. This is real different. And then, but I was probably not supposed to find that, it was.
Who bought that? Why was that?
I think that was my mom's. It was just in her, my
Shout out to
dad.
Mom.
Yeah, that was my mom. But I found myself every time I would open that case back up, I would go back to that cassette out of all the cassettes I was in over and over and over again. So, and then as I got older, when I was 9, 10, that's when, Eminem really hit the scene. That's when Nelly really hit the scene, and Nelly's from the Midwest. He's from St. Louis. Yeah. So, and it became a lot more. I was more aware of television at that time. MTV and BET. I was waking up every morning watching MTV in the morning, BET when I got home. So it was I absorbed a lot of it. And that was that was also the grunge era, so where they had the rock rap and all that stuff.
I remember that.
Yeah, so
I remember that.
I started branching out a little bit more, probably 9, 10, something like that. I would say 9 or 10. But I mean, once I saw Eminem rap, it was my brain went pah, right? Because I was old enough to recognize how different it was. Right, okay. Right? It wasn't normal seeing that at all. And, I didn't really get into music myself until I was 13, 14. And I just kind of were sitting around with a couple buddies, and he pulled out a notebook, and he just had all this. I hide this from my mom. I'm like, why? He's like, because there's curse words in it, And I'm like, what is it? He's like, I'm writing raps. I'm like, you can do that, you know, like, and like I've always liked words, and music is. I'm not very good at expressing myself. Music, I can express myself. Right. And what made me choose hip hop versus everything else, like everything else is like sympathetic. Everything else is empathetic and sympathetic, and hip hop's more like fuck you, I'm him, you know. And I'm kind of that kind of person, you know, like not no shade at anybody else. That's just like I'm my own biggest critic, right? So like I don't see anybody else's competition. I'm my biggest competition. No disrespect. Like, I'm my competition. Right. I'm going to be the hardest on myself out of anybody, you know, like.
That's how you have to be.
Yeah, what you say is it's not going to bother me. Like, it's not going to bother me at all because I'm more critical on myself than anyone else can be. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know that helps a whole lot, too, being your own critic, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you have to be.
You better than you know.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you mentioned Eminem. Is he gonna be one of your top 5? Or
yeah, he's gonna be number 1 for sure. Like for sure, just because he was like my first captivated. Like I was in awe by what I saw, right? But if you want to get in the top 5, like I would say. But so let's say I'm gonna go Eminem for sure because I already mentioned that. Tech 9, I love Tech 9.
People be sleeping on Tech 9.
Tech 9 is incredible. The way his cadence is and the things that he says, it's kind of like Eminem. He just says the most absurd shit you've ever heard in your life. Yep. And he just goes off. His quick repetition is just, it's just insane. And because a lot of people rap fast and don't say nothing. Right? Like, yeah, they don't say anything. They just kind of roll syllables together, right? And they don't actually say anything, or they get really repetitive, like double time, right? And it's just he says he's got one of the highest, you know, the biggest vocabularies out there, the things that he says and the words that he uses. So definitely throwing him in there. Wayne, Wheezy F. I mean, his metaphors just. He'll have you thinking about something, and then he'll use a metaphor and then roll that metaphor into a double entendre, and it's just you're like, wait, did he just bend that the way he bent that?
Right. You have to think about it, have to back it up and listen to it all over again.
Like I remember, like it's a simple couple bars that he says in a song, and it's in one of his mixtapes, "I'm Me," and he says something along. He goes. I'm a monster, I tell you, Monster Wayne. I have just swallowed the key to the house of pain. Now I'm stuck here to deal with the house's pain. Fuck with me and I will peel like the house's paint. You know, like, and I'm like, and then there's another one that he says that's crazy when he's like, Wheezy F is in your building. I will step on your building from the steps of my building. And that one's with Ja Rule. I can't remember. And nobody really knows that. Like that song was like a flash in the pan. Right. So, but yeah, so you got.
And he does it on everything.
Yeah. And everything he touches is just, I mean, once he started like changing his rap style, when he just started not writing anything down, he just spits a bar, goes in, spits another bar, and then just keeps doing it. The things that he came up with just. That from that era on, it was just
can't remember them.
Yeah, he can't remember them. No, he can't.
To that.
His style changed so much, and now he just murders everything he does. Like so, but yeah. So you got Tech, Wheezy, and then Kevin Gates. I love Kevin Gates. His passion.
Really?
Yes, his passion.
I don't think I've ever heard Kevin Gates in somebody's top 5.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just his passion. It's like when I think about things, I think of him in a different manner, right? For what reason do I like Kevin Gates? Right. You know what I'm saying? Like his passion.
And when you put it like that, I can't think of anybody that would probably be more passionate.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Every one of these guys has a reason, right? Like, because, I mean, everybody's top 5 is going to be different. Right. Like,
I try to get other people to realize that they top 5 will be different from my top 5, especially when they got 10 or 15 years on me. You know what I'm saying, they top 5 going to be way different. Oh, yeah. It's going to be somebody that I've never even heard of or that I've never even took the time to listen to, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother topic.
100%.
You know, old people versus not so old people.
But his passion, the way he just goes in, like he sounds like he's screaming without screaming, right? So like it's just the way he does it is just it's beautiful artwork to me, right? And then last but not least, I would have to say Young Dolph, R.I.P. But like I love how he just spoke his mind. Like, and he was just talking about his life so effortlessly, and it was just what he wanted to say when he wanted to say it and how he wanted to say it, and he didn't care. And he didn't care about anybody else thought. He didn't care about the competition around him. He was just like, I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna stay in my lane, and I'm gonna take over the whole street.
Right.
And no, that's what he did. So
yeah, because he's not lyrical.
Nah.
But I mean, he just jams so
his
hard.
swag.
And like you're right, it's like the confidence of saying what you are saying. Like these are the best bars ever.
Exactly. Exactly.
It makes it good. You know what I'm saying? Oh, all right. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, because there's like he's kind of like, I feel like the way Dolph rapped is kind of like how a lot of trap rap is nowadays, where they just say like the simplest things, right? With a catchy cadence, except he just said it, right? He wasn't trying, he was just talking over the beat. Yeah. Like that's what he did. So yeah.
If it rhymes, it
if it does, it does. If it doesn't,
if you have got to bend this word to make it fit this other word, hey, so be it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Are these people that like you can see yourself working with, or like is a group of like another 5 list of people that you wanted to work with? Would they be different than your top 5 people? Or are you like, no, I want to work with these?
I mean, I would probably like Wheezy out of those 5. Probably would be someone I want to work with, just because like I'm very metaphorical too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like if I did something with him, it would just kind of feed off,
kind of compliment.
Yeah, like okay. I would obviously make sure he recorded his first, like you know, like I would record his first, and then because I would like when I see something, like I said, I'm my biggest critic, but I'm also my biggest fan, right? So like I'm gonna be like, oh, I gotta beat that, right? Like that's just where my brain goes. I don't want to say confident, because I feel like arrogant people are people that are satisfied with what they have, and I'm never satisfied. Like I always want, like once I hit the next step, I'm like, this is good. More out there, I need to go get more. Like it's just natural progression of things. So like, but yeah, so I'm like, I'll see it and I'll just be like, look, I gotta cut off my slice. I gotta make him want to redo his verse, right? Like I mean, that's my
that's the goal.
Yeah, like I want him to go redo this.
That's the goal.
But in a couple other people, I mean, any of the Texas artists really. That Mexican OT, I like his catchy, choppy cadence. And Big X, he's local, super local. Like I like how he flows too. Really, I mean, even some of a little bit. I say old school, but they're my generation. But like Slim Thug and those guys and Paul Wall.
We never call them old because that's my generation.
Yeah, like that's good. I mean, my teen years, right? Like they were out in my teen years, so it's still like it's not too far back.
Old.
So
no, we can't
like any of those, I could vibe with anything like that. And I mean, M would be cool, but. I mean, that's not something that I aspire, right? It's just not something that it's something that sticks with me. Like I want to do it, right? Like if I did, I mean, I'm not gonna say no,
of course,
right? But like it's not. He does his thing, Let him do his thing with the people that he's got and whatnot. But
what about like producer wise, like what I'm saying? How would that work? You got like a group of people that you feel like you would mesh well with?
If I'm being honest, I don't know a whole lot about the producer scene, right? Because I started doing music really young, like I said earlier. And I started, like I said, probably 13, 14. I gave up on music, actually, when I was like probably 18. Completely gave up because life is life, and like I have to pay bills. And like I was in Iowa. There's not a lot of exposure. Like, I mean, I probably had 19. I probably had like 10 songs, probably something like that. I had one playing in a strip club, but I mean, you're in a town.
They got strip clubs out there too?
Yeah, well, they just shut the last one, or they're talking about shutting it down. I don't know if they actually shut it down.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but no, it's it's a city. Don't be sleeping on it. We corn-fed. Yeah, now we have strip clubs. We have ghettos. I mean, we have section. Actually, if you don't know, violent cities per capita, and then
get the fuck out
it is. It's like it was like in like the 92nd percentile for violent crimes for cities of its size in America. Right. Yeah. So I mean, but it's like you got to think it's 4 hours away from Chicago. Right, 4.5.
Oh.
So like when people get released on parole and they have to get out of state, the first big city they get to is Waterloo.
All right, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I mean, I grew up with a lot of people that were from Chicago, so like I knew a lot of people from Chicago growing up.
You ever go out there and just kick it?
Nah, not really. I've probably only ever been to Chicago twice, and they were both more like in the tourist area right around the river. Like I've never gone to kick it there at all. Yeah. I mean, I like the city though. It's probably my second favorite city besides Dallas.
Yeah, you gotta, one day, get your hood pass and go out there and
I'll
tap in with O-Block.
Yeah, see what's good down there. And that stuff's crazy down there. That stuff's crazy.
I'm sure it is.
I have buddies that have they grew up around there. So, but yeah, that'd be cool.
You don't think that would help, like, I'm finna go out here and give me some, some certified
credit? You know what I mean? I feel like, I don't even...
It helps your authenticity.
I honestly don't even have that many white friends to begin with.
Really?
So, yeah, not really.
Okay.
Yeah, not really. I mean,
okay.
I stick out like a sore thumb everywhere I go because I'm usually the only white guy at the end of the day. I mean, I have a couple, and like, I apologize, guys, but not really, like... It's not like I don't like white people, but it's just like I guess I never really fit into those crowds, right? Like it's just not something I fit into. And I've always stuck out and I've always, just gone a different direction than everybody else, and it's just how it worked out for me. So
you linked up with the other 13 people in the whole state of Iowa.
Yeah, all 13 of them. 13 of them.
Y'all were cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we had.
Golly, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. But
okay.
Yeah, but so back to it because we got off a little subject there. But like I said, I quit when I was 18, and I didn't even listen to music for from I want to say 18 to 25. I didn't even listen to music. I just completely shut. And then I think I started listening to a little bit when I was 25. I heard some stuff. I accidentally flicked from the radio station that I was listening to another radio station. I heard something. I was like, oh, I like that. And so I started listening to it a little bit more. And then that was, that's 9 years ago. And then recently I got back into it, and it was just kind of I don't feel like I chose music. I feel like music chose me because it was something I gave up on, and I saw some little open verse challenge on Instagram, and I was like, cool, right? let's see if I still got it, right? And I still got it. So, but yeah, I love music is an expression of myself. So, and especially in the hip hop industry, it's just I fit in a little bit better there than the country scene. I would like to think. I don't know how the country people are gonna think about me.
Yeah, it might be a little odd to them.
God bless.
So, what you got coming out? I know you said something about some songs you got stashed up. You know what I'm saying? You got some projects coming.
Yeah, so I got a project coming. Hopefully it'll be done by Christmas. So I already have 3 that are ready. I got 1 completely done. I got 2 that they just need to be recorded and listened to a couple times and do a couple things there. And then I have so much stuff in my head already that's just stored in there that I got to get out. So there's just, and I got plenty of beats to choose from and a place to do it. So I'm going to get it out there, and it might be, 5 to 8 songs. I don't know yet. It's just, I'm just going to get these out, and then we're going to look at a couple things, put them together, and just kind of see what's good with that.
So right now we're just waiting on you to get the work in.
Exactly. Just that's it, because I also work full time. So Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You got a title for this project yet?
I think really at the end of the day, it's layers of me. So it's just called the EP 50 Shades because it's just like peeling back an onion. You're gonna get different versions, of what I can do. It's not. I don't have one style, one cadence. I'm a little, I like to switch it up.
Okay.
So.
Okay. So, well, give us some social media info. So once this does drop, that we can keep up with you. And
for sure.
What's up?
So on Twitter and TikTok, it's Driss Music. On YouTube TV, YouTube, it's Driss Music Texas, and on Instagram, it's Driss Music 1. So DRISS.
DRISS, man. You gotta tap in on all platforms. You know what I'm saying? He got a project coming out toward the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So y'all keep your ears open. You know what I'm saying? New artists coming to the streets. You checked in here first, man. On Power 214, your boy DJ Chubb. Holla at ya.